Have you spent months preparing for your data science interview? Mastered Python, SQL, machine learning, and statistics, built an impressive portfolio, and polished your resume. You answer all the questions in an interview, and then you don't get the offer, and they hit you with something like, "We decided to go with another candidate," or "the role is not longer available." And then you are sitting there wondering what went wrong. Today, I will cover the 3 critical things that people consistently fail to do when preparing for an interview and fail to do during an interview. The first mistake is that candidates downplay their own strengths and accomplishments. And I see this all the time. An interviewer, let's say, will ask, "Okay, tell me about this project on your resume," and the candidate will say something like, "Okay, yeah, that was just a small project I did for class, I kind of helped, I kind of built this model to predict some customer churn. It wasn't a big deal, it was simple and quick." And then if you say like just a small project, I kind of helped, kind of built a model, this language completely undersells your work. It shows a lack of confidence and ownership. And we as a company don't want to hire someone who kind of helped. We want to hire a real problem solver, a real thinker behind the initiative who will drive the results for us. Change your own narrative. Before the interview, go through every project on your resume and practice talking about it with a strong, active language. You can, for example, use the STAR method. This is what I very often recommend. You have this situation, task, action, and then a result of it. So instead of just saying it was a small project, say, "In my previous role, we were facing a 15% customer churn rate, let's say. I was tasked with developing a predictive model to identify at-risk customers. I took the lead on data cleaning and feature engineering, and I implemented a gradient boosting model that identified these customers with 85% accuracy. This enabled the marketing team to launch a targeted retention campaign that allow us to increase the revenue or increase the profits or whatever it really did." Right? Here you are showing clearly what was the situation, what you were tasked with, what actions did you take, and what was the result of your actions. And this shows the ownership. This is the one thing that we are really looking for in these data science interviews, because this is what we really need at work. We need to be creative and we need to drive our own work. All right, mistake number 2. This one is subtle but deadly. Candidates fail because they can't effectively talk about their projects or explain the why behind their decisions. Let's say a weak candidate describes their projects like a recipe, right? Like a cooking recipe. So they might say, "First, I cleaned the data, then I did feature engineering, then I traded the model." But when we ask them, "Okay, like, why did you choose that model over another? Why did you take these steps in feature engineering? Like, why did you decide to remove the rows with null values," right? They freeze, right? And they can't answer. They can't justify their choices, or they say something like, "Yeah, my boss told me, my colleague told me, or this is what we would usually do," right? This is not what we want to hear. This is why I would like you to have a why this project was happening in the company. So understand also the business context of this project. Why did you choose this approach, right? Going back to this STAR framework we just discussed. And why did it work or not? Because this is also very easy thing to spot if someone has a lot of experience and is kind of confident in their skills. They will also talk about things that did not work and things they have tried. And this really quickly shows that someone has really done the job, because that's the reality, So basically, don't just say, "I used a random forest model," right? What you can say, for example, is, "We started with logistic regression for simplicity, but it couldn't capture the nonlinear patterns in our data," right? This is a limitation. This already shows a lot of knowledge. "We chose a random forest because it gave us a significant boost in accuracy while still providing feature importance, which was crucial for us because we wanted to explain the results to our stakeholders." And that brings me to the third and, in my opinion, most critical mistake that people make. It is a complete lack of proper, realistic rehearsal. And it's not about preparation, because almost all people do prepare for the interview. It's really about rehearsal, which means it's not enough to have the knowledge in your head, but you have to have the ability to deliver this knowledge to the interviewer to show that you have it under a lot of stress during an interview. And you can try to simulate this to a certain degree. You can, let's say, get your colleague and Google some questions, have them ask you, and then you answer. You can also just answer in front of a camera, record yourself, and then watch the footage. But this is not simulating the most important factor here, which is really stress. And this is the exact problem we want to solve at the data-driven prep that we created with a few of my colleagues. Now, one product that we sell at datadrivenprep.com is a one-on-one mock interview with me of one of my colleagues. We are all seasoned data science interviewers. We have interviewed hundreds of people for various data science roles, and we have a lot of experience. We will ask you interview questions, real interview questions that we would normally ask in an interview for 1 hour. And then for 15 minutes, we will provide you with a detailed feedback on what you did correctly, what you did not so good, and you can improve for the next time to significantly increase your chances of getting hired. I have a special offer for you. If you use the link that is in the pinned comment below, in the first week from publishing this video, you will get an additional 20% off on your one-on-one mock interview at datadrivenprep.com. This is an exclusive offer for you because you watch and support this channel. And I just want to say thank you like this, but it's a limited time offer. So let's recap today's video. We discussed 3 points. First, during an interview, you have to own your strengths and talk about your work with confidence. Like use the STAR framework that we discussed. Secondly, you have to prepare a full narrative for your projects, mastering not just what you did during the projects, but the crucial is why. Like, why did you select a certain model? Why did you do the steps in feature engineering? Why did you decide on this approach? And then thirdly, most importantly, you will do a realistic rehearsal to practice the actual performance in an interview, either with us at datadrivenprep.com, or you can do it also in other ways.